boys and girls. I'm Miss Rhyne.
And I'm Miss Peerbolte.
Today, we're going to be learning about the water cycle. Have you ever heard of the water cycle? Have you ever thought about where rain comes? The clouds. That's right.
And what about snow? Have any of you ever seen snow? A few people, have you eaten snow before? And what did that taste like?
Ooh, it's cold. It tastes like water. Is melted snow the same thing as rainwater? What do you think? Look what I have. It's a magic spray bottle. Where do you think the water in this bottle came from? You guys think maybe? That's a great guess. Do you think this water was ever in a lake? Or what about the ocean?
It is possible because all water goes through the water cycle. And the water in the magic spray bottle might have been in the ocean. It might have been in the Chattahoochee River. It could have been in a pond.
Would you like a little spray from the magic spray bottle? First, I'm going to spray it on my arm. Wow, if I wait just a minute, it's not there anymore. I wonder where it went.
I know where some of it went. It evaporated. So the liquid water droplets turned into a gas.
Gas. Wow. Who else wants a little spray? All right, here we go. Remember, you don't have to wipe it off. Just wait a few seconds and it will disappear.
And if we wait a minute, do we need to wipe it off? No, because like Miss Rhyne said, it'll disappear because the water evaporates. So let's go ahead and watch a video about the water cycle. And I want you to pay special attention to the different settings in the video and any words you might not know. So this is the point where we would show our video, and it has this great graphic, this diagram of the water cycle. So we're going to keep that on the board so the students have an example. And then we can say, that was a great video. What were some of the new words we learned from the water cycle? Evaporation. Yeah, evaporation is a great word. And can you tell me what it means? Yes, evaporation is when water gets heated up and turns into a gas. And do you remember what they said that gas is called in the video? Water vapor, right? And what did they say heated up the water? It was the sun.
There were some really cool places and settings in that video. What was another word that you learned? Condensation? Very good. Does anybody remember what that word means? It's when water vapor cools and becomes a liquid again. So the gas turns back into a water drop.
And what's another part of the cycle that we haven't mentioned yet? Precipitation. And what is precipitation? Can someone tell me? Right, it's when the water falls back to the earth as rain, or it could even be snow or ice or sleet or hail.
Now we're going to tell a short story about a droplet of water who goes through the whole water cycle. We're going to make our own story. What should we name our water droplet? Kevin? That's a great name. So one day, Kevin woke up on a prickly cactus and he didn't know where he was.
And then as Kevin laid there, he felt the sun make him really warm all over. He got warmer and warmer. And then he looked down at himself and he realized He couldn't see his body anymore. He was disappearing. But he had turned into water vapor. And what is water vapor, class? Is it a gas or a liquid? It's a gas. Very good.
Kevin felt himself rising higher and higher into the sky. Floated around in the sky, and suddenly he found himself in a white, fluffy cloud. He saw other water droplets there too. He said hi to another water droplet and asked her, "What's your name? What should her name be, class?"
Sam? Sam, that's a good choice. Kevin asked Sam where she was from, and she said she was from the ocean. Kevin felt himself getting heavier and heavier until he turned back into a water droplet. All of a sudden, he saw Sam slide through the floor of the white fluffy cloud. She said, "Bye, Kevin. It's time to go."
"Oh, where?" Kevin wondered. Then Kevin started to. Next, he plopped into a body of water. He looked around and he realized he was in an oasis.
So, class, where do you think Kevin was in the beginning of the story? He was on a cactus, right? So maybe in the desert somewhere. And then when did Kevin go through the evaporation stage of the water cycle? At the beginning, when he got warmed up by the sun and became water vapor, and he floated up into the sky.
Once Kevin was up in the sky, where did he go? Yes, remember he was in a cloud. And which stage of the water cycle did he just go through? Right, the condensation stage, when he went from being a gas to a liquid. And once he turned back into a water droplet, what happened?
He fell back down to earth. And what's that called when he fell back down to earth as a water droplet? Precipitation. And that precipitation he came down as was rain.
Wow, that was fun. Now, boys and girls, it's your turn. You're going to go with your reading partner and write your own story. You get to name your water droplet and choose the setting and type of adventure that your water droplet is going to go on.
And then make sure your story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And make sure you use all 3 parts of the water cycle that we talked about today. And then the students will go write their stories with their partners. And afterwards, we will ask, do any groups want to share the story that they wrote?
And once the students are done sharing, we'll say, "Okay, everyone, it's game time." You're going to go get your devices and log into Kahoot. Some questions on the Kahoot might look like this. What source of energy evaporates the most water from Earth's surface? With choices like volcanoes, the sun, or wind. And another question would be, what is water vapor doing when it changes to water? With answer choices of evaporating, condensing, or precipitating.
And then some additional questions you could ask on our Kahoot are ones like, where does condensation occur in the water cycle? With the multiple choice answers being clouds forming, ocean water changing to water vapor, or water flowing down a river, which would be clouds forming. And then another question we could ask is, how can water vapor in the air return to Earth? With it being either it evaporates and is blown by the wind, it evaporates and forms clouds, or it condenses and precipitates, which it condenses and then precipitates would be the right answer for that one. And then if a majority of the students miss any of the questions, we'll address that question and revisit that specific concept to make sure that they understand it. And then we could say, great job, friends. We learned so much about the water cycle today. And can someone remind me, what are the 3 stages again? evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Good job.
I loved hearing the stories that you created together, boys and girls. I hope you had fun working with your partners and coming up with some really wonderful stories. Thank you all for participating.
Thank you for watching our video.